October 24th, 2017, 5:03 p.m. Detective Elise Monroe's unmarked cruiser idled 2 houses away from the Reeves residence. The warrant was signed. The tactical team was en route, but her instincts told her they might be late. Inside that pristine White House, Daniel Reeves was pacing. His wife had taken their son to soccer practice, the same practice he used to coach, before the department asked him to step down due to community restructuring. The truth? Elise had intervened. She didn't want Daniel around children. Not until they were sure. Daniel's palms were sweating. His shirt clung to his back. He could feel the tension in the air like static before a lightning strike. Something was coming, and deep down he was tired of running. Earlier that day, the red threads were the key. In the police archives, Elise had found a cold case from 2003 in Detroit. A prostitute murdered in a similar fashion. Red thread, ligature marks, body left in a posed position. At the time, no suspect, no motive, but a fingerprint partial was logged and forgotten. She had it run again. It matched Daniel Reeves. It was the piece she needed to go from theory to arrest. Daniel's breaking point. He sat on the couch now, looking at the soccer trophies on the shelf. His son's smiling face in the team photo. Melissa's favorite candle flickering on the counter. The illusion of peace, so delicate, so fragile. Daniel knew he'd lost control the night of the florist's murder. It had been messy, reckless, and part of him had wanted to be caught. He stood, went to the garage, and opened the locked cabinet. Inside the box, he placed it on the workbench and opened the lid one final time. Hair strands, 4, rope, thread, 1 Polaroid. He ran his fingers over each item slowly, reverently, like sacred relics. Then he picked up the photo, a blurry shot of the first victim, taken from a parked car. It was his trigger, his ritual, and now it was done. The arrest. At 5:11 p.m., Elise approached the door with her team behind her. SWAT waited for the go. A knock. 3 seconds. Then Daniel opened the door calmly, a glass of wine in his hand. "Detective Monroe," he said with a hollow smile. "I was expecting you." "Elise, step outside, please." He raised both hands. "No need for dramatics. My wife and son won't be home for another 30 minutes. The team cuffed him on the lawn. Neighbors peered through blinds. Camera phones clicked. Children watched from porches. America's favorite soccer dad was done. Interrogation, the final confession. Elise sat across from him in the dim-lit room hours later. Daniel looked empty, drained of the facade he wore so well. No charm, no denial, just quiet acceptance. "I was 21 when it started," he began. "But I think the rage was there before that. Something in my mother's voice, the way she screamed when my father hit her. It wired me wrong." "Why the red thread?" Elise asked. Daniel smiled faintly. "Because when I was little, my grandma used to say every soul is tied to another by a red thread. Destiny. I guess I wanted to be part of theirs. Just in my own way." He looked her dead in the eye. "And no one ever looked at me the way you're looking now. Until they were about to die." Melissa Reeves. The aftermath. 2 days later, Melissa sat in the living room watching the news. She was expressionless as the anchor replayed Daniel's mugshot again and again. Her world had shattered. Her husband, the father of her child, was a murderer, a monster. Yet, there had been signs. Late-night walks, unexplained bruises, strange smells from the garage. That one night she caught him staring at their sleeping son with a face devoid of love or fear, just curiosity. She hadn't wanted to believe it then. Now she couldn't deny it. Epilogue, the trial. The trial lasted 5 weeks. The prosecution presented forensic evidence, the Polaroids, Daniel's confession tapes, and Elise's testimony. The courtroom was transfixed. Daniel never denied the charges. He waived his right to an appeal. He asked only one thing, to be remembered for the truth, not the disguise. When the jury returned the verdict, guilty on all counts, Daniel simply nodded. Final scene, Elise. Months later, Elise sat alone in her office, rewatching the confession tape. Not for clues, not for glory, but for something else. Understanding. What makes a man like Daniel Reeves? She whispered aloud. There was no easy answer. No single trauma, no singular break. Just a man who wore the perfect mask for so long, even he almost believed it. Until he didn't. Final words. He was a soccer dad by day, and a serial killer by night. But in the end, the real horror wasn't what he did. It was how long it took anyone to notice.